Your Steve Jones Show podcast is loading now. The Steve Jones Show podcast is sponsored by Sunbury Motors, North 4th Street in Sunbury, and Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf. Sports talk where your voice counts. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. Now, from the Sunbury Motors Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is the Steve Jones Show on a Tuesday. Matt Catrillo here with you. Steve will soon be there from the Sunbury Motors Studio. Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf. And online at sunburymotors.com. Ford, Kia, Hyundai, a great selection of pre-owned inventory and new inventory. And a great sales staff that either way, they're there for you, not just there for the sale. And a service department that is there for you, for your current vehicle, with the diagnostics, with the inspections, and all the routine maintenance. It's all part of the very important Sunbury Motors Guarantee. And we all know that Sunbury Motors, of course, stands for Sunbury Motor Company, selling more cars, satisfying more customers. And with that comes the need for many great behind-the-scenes employees, especially those technicians in that service department. They're looking for entry-level, experienced technicians to work in their quick lane, car light truck service, heavy truck service, body frame and alignment, and towing departments. Whether you got some experience, you're an entry-level technician looking for your first job, or someone looking for a career change, they'd love to hear from you. Stop by in person, apply online at sunburymotors.com, or you can call Todd at 286-7746. We have a monster show today. First of all, as we mentioned yesterday, we got Mike Gesicki, former Penn Stater, and now, of course, with the Miami Dolphins. He'll join us at 4:06 today. Glenn Macnow today from the Eagles Radio Network at 4:35. But starting off the show at 3:35 with a brand new guest. Pittsburgh sports fans know him. Bob Pompiani, KDKA sports director now for over 40 years, in fact. You hear him do the Steelers preseason games on KDKA as well. You hear him on 93.7 The Fan out there in Pittsburgh too, of course, plus on TV. So Bob Pompiani is going to join us for the first time at 3:35 today. We're very much looking forward to that. And a lot to get to with Bob, especially when it comes to the Steelers, as they have officially elevated Kenny Pickett to the quarterback number one position after he took over for a benched Mitchell Trubisky in the loss to the Jets on Sunday. Very much looking forward to getting his thoughts on that and the Steelers' slow start to the season. And I know we haven't gotten a whole lot into that today or yesterday, but obviously we'll get into that fully today when it comes to the move to Kenny Pickett. I thought it was the right move. I think it's just about been long overdue at this point. It's not that Mitchell Trubisky did anything bad in the preseason to earn it, although I still thought Kenny Pickett outplayed him, and I think won the job instead of Mitchell Trubisky losing the job. But obviously, this offense needed some sort of spark, and there's still plenty of issues with the Steelers' offense. Reason why they're a 14-point underdog to Buffalo this week to begin the tough stretch for the team. But when Kenny Pickett got in there, instantly you saw some spark. You saw 2 touchdowns, one to take the lead, and then one to increase the lead to 10 before the defense blew it for the Steelers in the end to the Jets, which is a whole other subject. But bottom line is, it was a spark the Steelers' offense needed. You see him make some other big throws that you saw flashes of in the preseason, especially the one to Pat Freiermuth in the second half. Very similar to a throw that he made to Pat Freiermuth against Jacksonville in the preseason. So this is the right move for the Steelers. It may not turn around this season, but it's the right move and just in terms of bringing some excitement to that offense. I mean, listen, the offense still has many issues. The offensive line, of course, is one. But everyone looks at the offensive line. There's not really many other weapons except for Najee Harris and Deontay Johnson right now, and Pat Freiermuth. You have three guys. The receiving core for the Steelers is very much underwhelming as a whole. Chase Claypool, I don't know what's happened to him. He looked good as a rookie, but since then he just has not been able to turn it up. And he was quite awful in that game, and to me was one of the reason why Kenny Pickett threw his first of 3 picks, which almost none were his fault.
You're going to be a basket case in this show today. Total, complete basket case.
No, I'm okay with it, so I don't think I'll be that way.
He's 0 for 2. Okay, 0 for 2. Grounded.
Oh, you talk about Aaron Judge. Well,
weak pop out.
I am starting to get a little nervous. I am starting to get a little nervous. I think it's starting to get to him a little bit, and I just hope it doesn't.
Starting to. I told you last week it was.
Well, I mean, you're really starting to see it now.
Do you listen to the show?
Yes, I do. But I mean, but I'm saying it's the first time. This is like truly, you can see it in his body language, and that makes me a little. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Come on. I mean, my goodness, even Giancarlo Stanton's hitting better than he is right now.
I know.
Sure.
He hit a moonshot last night.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah. Now, in all seriousness now, for those who weren't alive in 1961, this tells you about the pressure Roger Maris had in trying to get past Babe Ruth. And the difference between Maris and Judge is you did have a segment of the population that was not rooting for him. Conversely, Judge has everybody rooting for him. He is at 1 home run in 13 games. Like, that's it. Not easy to hit home runs, but he's at 1 in 13 games. And I saw his first at-bat last night. I was like, okay. And Martin Perez pitched to him. I mean, today he went after the first pitch, grounded out. I mean, right now there's more excitement with people online buying from Amazon than there is watching him play.
Oh, my almighty!
What did it for me last night was the check swing. That's what I was.
No, I didn't. I watched the first at-bat. Did not bother watching it. I had a lot of work to do. I didn't need to waste my time with another 0 for night. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah. No, I know. I hear you. I stuck with it while I had the Monday night game on my phone. You know, when things started settling down. Luke was watching with me, was trying to cheer him on, but yeah, it didn't happen. I guarantee you it's going to happen, though, tonight when I'm doing a game and I can't watch. So
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen tomorrow either.
I think if it doesn't happen tonight, it's not going to happen.
He's stuck.
Agree. Yeah.
Right? I sent you a text last night. All set. The slump continues.
Yes.
You weren't happy with that.
No, not really. I wanted to celebrate it with Luke. He was all excited for him.
What, am I supposed to like feel something in my heart about that or what?
Always.
Yeah, sit down, Junior. He's not hitting. It's like, it's not happening. I mean, if you want, you think maybe they pitch him underhanded, like a little soft toss. You think?
You know, why not? Or if the Yankees can just pound on the Rangers one of these, either tonight or tomorrow, and get positional players in there, then that helps his cause.
So we're down to positional players pitching now. Really?
You got to do what you got to do, I guess.
I think, is it Johnny Gray pitching today? I think Tyone's for the Yankees, right? How about the Phillies? Let's get to something that's actually a positive, because right now Judge is dragging the game into the dirt. Just kidding. 11 years they're in the playoffs. Aaron Nola, last night, you are at a point where you got to get it done. You send to the mound, if you had to handpick a guy on your staff, the guy you'd want on the mound in that spot, and he came through last night. And in fact, I believe it is not only 11 years, but it's also the same ballpark where the Phillies clinched their last playoff berth. Dick in Milton. Dick, how are you today? Great to have you with us.
I just told Matt the Orioles are done, so I really don't care about baseball till next year again.
Get the lingerie on the deck. Call the janitor.
Beautiful sentiment, Dick. Beautiful. Tugs in my heart.
Well, what I actually wanted to tell you, remember a few weeks ago we talked about the portal, and I said about all these college football coaches getting fired?
Yeah.
They were more at risk than the players anymore because they could just up and leave. So,
yeah.
So this made me think about this. But Paul Chryst got fired. Now, he got $11 million buyout. He got fired, but my point was, and I use James Franklin because he got a 10-year extension on his contract, and Paul Chryst actually had a better winning record than James Franklin over the last 67 and 26 and 67 and 34. That's Franklin. And they fired the guy, and hell, he won a lot of football games at Wisconsin. I don't understand the theory behind these guys anymore. What's going on?
And not only that, but the athletic director there, Chris McIntosh, gave him a 5-year contract extension at the end of last season. That's the
so
part
his buyout's a lot.
It's 11
million.
Yeah, it's 11. And from 30,000 feet, I don't understand it. I understand that Wisconsin has a way of playing that is not exciting. But it is the way that they play in such a way that's the best way for them to win. But it's also not an exciting way to play. And I'm wondering how much. So, in other words, you're not winning as much. I feel like the Penn State game last year, the opener, started them down this path because they got into that game. Penn State won at 16-10. Graham Mertz is one of the highest ranked recruits they've ever had there. Had that great start with Illinois. Got COVID. Has never really been the same since, Dick. And last year they're playing Penn State in the opener, and he's driving them downfield. And I'm sitting in the booth, and I still get a sense he's not going to be able to get it done. I mean, sometimes you sit there and you have a sense, and I don't care if it's the opposing team, whatever. You're like, oh, man, I don't like how this is going. For some reason, when they were going downfield, I kept thinking he was not going to be able to get it done, and then Brisker picked him off at the goal line. And I feel that then propelled Wisconsin onto this spiral they haven't been able to get out of.
Well, I guess my other point, and I looked up Notre Dame because they're in the others receiving votes, 5 or something like that. Notre Dame, is that coach going to be safe if he has a year like this? I mean, obviously they've got a lot of winnable games, a lot.
Well, he'll get it.
When they don't beat Marshall, every game's not winnable, I guess, for anybody.
And they've got a tough one this week in Las Vegas with BYU.
Right, but they got Southern Cal coming up, and they've got Boston College, who's always that's always a good game with Notre Dame, and they have Navy. I mean, there's a lot of teams they'll beat, and understand that. But my question is, I can't believe anybody could be happy with a Notre Dame team that's receiving votes, 5 votes in the poll, coaches poll.
They're not going to be happy about it, but it's also his first year. My gut is, and it's only my guess, that he'll get a minimum of 2 more years after this, and they'll evaluate at the end of the 3rd year. That's just me. I mean, it used to be it's 5 years. Now I think the window is down to 2 to 3 years. I think Notre Dame will give him 3 years to see what he can do with the program.
Well, I guess my point, when you see 5 major coaches at literally 5 major colleges in the first 4 or 5 weeks lose their jobs, is anybody safe? I guess that's my point.
They're not. Well, it's actually 7 now.
7?
So 7 coaches are out. The trend now is to do it early. I don't know what that buys you by doing it early. I mean, it's not like you're hiring somebody at the end of October. after your extensive search. You're still hiring somebody at the end of the season. Now, at Wisconsin's case, maybe this is a tryout to see whether Jim Leonhard should be the head coach. I don't know. But that was one where I sat back. It didn't surprise me that Herm Edwards was let go. It didn't surprise me that Carl Durrell was let go. But it did surprise me Paul Chryst was.
I guess my last question, have you ever seen anything like this in college football?
No. Nope. And it's
literally a bloodbath of coaches.
And all during the season. That's the part that gets me. I mean, we've seen at the end of a season, suddenly out of nowhere, it's Grim Reaper Monday, and here we go. But not during the season. And really, I feel like when Clay Helton was let go after week 2 a year ago, that propelled the new spiral of get them out now, and we'll pick up the pieces later. And now 7 schools have fallen into that.
Well, the only good thing about it, and I'm going to let you go on this last statement, at least they let him coach the second half of the game before they fire him.
That's good. No, it's a real plus, Dick. We'll let you finish out. You're all right.
Anyhow, and the Orioles had a good year, but they're finished. Thank you.
Thanks, Dick. Appreciate it. And your guy, when's the next time your guy's up?
I have to take a look. Let's see.
I mean, you have to take a look. I'm surprised you're not locked on every pitch here.
Well, it's hard to be locked in, when these afternoon games when I got a couple other things going on. Let's see.
Oh, for goodness sakes! I'm sitting here. I'm doing the show. Come on. You barely pay
probably.
You barely pay attention to what I say.
Let's see. Higashioka just struck.
He's up right now.
Actually, he's up right now. Yeah.
He's up right now.
Yep. Higashioka just struck out. So here he is.
Wow. Well, what a moment. Your guy Cabrera is now. He's hit more home runs in the last 3 weeks than Judge has.
So is Barwin Gonzalez too.
Wow. A little lean here. Wow. Yeah. Judge at the plate, huh?
I'm going to get my Yes-App fired up to watch. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Gonzalez is on first, by the way. There's 2 outs. So, first pitch is a ball. 4-seam fastball, high and tight at 96. So we'll take a break while Matt goes and gets his paper bag to breathe into. Strike swinging 4-seam fastball.
Yeah, he went for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, okay. Exhale, inhale. Watch the bag expand. Bring the bag back. All right. Oh, another strike. Oh, what's going on here? God, slider looking. Oh, brutal. Yeah. We'll come back with the result of this dramatic Aaron Judge at-bat in a moment on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
When car repairs get difficult.
Well, I just don't know.
Me neither.
We get good. Sunbury Motors. More than quality new and used cars, Sunbury Motors specializes in complicated auto repair diagnosis. They can handle intricate repairs and even complete auto body with service open Monday through Friday, 7 till 4. And Sunbury Motors has made simple repairs easy. Maintaining your vehicle is necessary. Finding the time to do it is difficult. Welcome to Sunbury Motors Quick Lane. Open 7 till 4, Monday through Friday. Just walk in or call ahead. Relax in their remodeled waiting room with Wi-Fi, beverages, and snacks. While Sunbury Motors factory trained techs take care of your oil change, tire alignments, brakes, and inspections. Quick Lane, 6:30 to 6, Monday through Friday, Saturday, 6:30 till 2. Sunbury Motors, Ford and Hyundai, North 4th Street, Sunbury. And Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf. We take the out of auto repair.
Yeah, popped out the first. We can't get the ball in the infield anymore.
Dang it.
I mean, meanwhile, the little blonde-haired kid's like, hey, yeah. It's like, sit down, Luke. Right? Okay, your dude isn't getting it done. Next year in San Francisco, when he gets 68, you can all rise then. He's not only not getting the record, he's bagging your city.
Taking your calls at 800-795-9565. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. Now, from the Sunbury Motors Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Well, Adolis Garcia just did something that Aaron Judge evidently is incapable of doing. He homered.
Wonderful.
It's 4-3 Rangers. You know, it's interesting. This ballpark, it's just down the street from Jerry World. I mean, literally, just down the street. And the two parks, because now they've taken an old Globe Life Park and they've turned it into a football stadium. Play a lot of high school football, some college games there. And I'll be honest with you, the new place, which I know they put a lot of money into. Remember, Jack Ham and I were looking at it, and I was like, the other one looks like it's all the brick and all. It's like beautiful. So this place looks like a warehouse. It's like, I mean, you could tell it's a gorgeous place, but the other one looked like it had a little more personality to it. But the difference is this one has a roof on it, so when it's 100 degrees in Texas, the fans are inside at 72 and very comfortable, so it makes a big difference. Now on Yes, they're talking about how can you not feel the pressure?
I mean, well, yeah, they're not wrong.
Well, the problem you got right now is that you're starting to weep. You got to stop. You got to stop. Just, you need to steady yourself.
The problem,
you need to steady yourself.
The problem now with me is I just hope that this doesn't carry into the postseason like this. He looks uncomfortable at the plate. That's my biggest issue right now.
In the postseason, there's only more pressure. Yeah, sure. I wouldn't worry about it. He had a great postseason last year.
Yeah. He just looks so uncomfortable. His swings are late, and that's just not good.
God, you're such a complainer.
I'm just going by what I see.
1 second he's like he's the greatest things in sliced bread. Your kid now emulates him. now your kid has a Josh Donaldson jersey. I don't get it.
No, senor! No,
Meanwhile,
senor! No, senor!
Yeah, that won't happen.
Meanwhile, Albert Pujols is 90 and he's having more home runs than Judge has in the past month. He passed Babe Ruth last night in the all-time RBI list.
Yes, he did, and looks like the Phils get him next.
Yeah, he's second all-time. And all 3 games will be at Busch, by the way. All 3. So it's the best out of 3 series. They're going to be all in St. Louis. And St. Louis has had the opportunity to set up its pitching, although with Nola pitching last night, I'm trying to think. I think he'd be able to pitch Game 1 or Game 2.
I thought I saw, I'll have to double check this, but I thought I saw the rotation is going to be Wheeler Friday, Nola Saturday, and Ranger Suarez Sunday if there's a Game 3, I think.
Okay, good. All right, good.
I got to triple check that, but I thought I saw that last night.
First time in 11 years they're in. The difference is that they seem to be comfortable. All right, so as opposed to, Judge comes to the plate now. It looks like the bat is shaking. Are you worried? Okay. Again, everybody's rooting for him. Everybody. Roger Maris didn't have that. Roger Maris had people, there was a segment rooting for him, but there was a segment rooting against him. You can't beat Ruth. Then they came up with that stupid asterisk thing. He and Mantle were back and forth for most of the summer until finally Mantle got hurt. But Judge has everybody rooting for him. Opposing ballparks rooting for him. People filming every at-bat. Right? Matt had to run over to Wise to get more paper bags.
At least I can fill up on my gas points. That's about it.
Yeah, but I mean, you're almost hyperventilating.
I'm working on it.
I mean, the last time I saw a performance like this was the Eagles in the playoffs with the Bucks.
Get the lingerie on the deck. Call the janitor.
And you didn't come out of that very good.
No. Yeah.
Now you were a mess. You're a mess now. I mean, you're a total mess today. You're a mess.
Let's just say I was just happy that I had Bucknell basketball to keep me sane.
You're a mess. Everybody's rooting for him. Everybody, not just little Luke, who has no idea who he is. Okay.
He knows he hits home runs and he plays for the Yankees.
He has no idea who he is. He's just following Daddy's lead.
No, actually, he actually told Lisa last night after dinner. He said, "Mommy, come inside. I want to watch Aaron Judge."
Right. And she said, and her response was, "Why bother?"
F-O-U-L-E-D, that spells fouled up.
All right. Penn State football will be back on the practice field today. They did do their corrections and transition on Sunday. They had yesterday off like they usually do. They are practicing today. And today, there's no need to be outside today here. It's raining here again, and there's no game this week. And they are, so they'll be inside today. Then they'll do some stuff tomorrow. Then I think they're going to get Thursday and Friday off. I think that's how it's going to work. The, quote, development squad guys will have to do some stuff on Thursday. That I do know. But they're doing a couple of things differently this time with the bye week. Just a couple of differences. I'm interested to see a couple of those differences in practice today as to how they're going about it. And this is with input from Manny Diaz, input from Mike Yurcich, and from Stacey Collins as to how they want to handle this week. The Athletic did a survey. How do you feel about college football playoff expansion? Are you excited? More football, more meaningful bowl games. 68% said yes. Neutral on it. Felt inevitable. This is what the postseason is right now, 21%. Angry, bad for the sport, 6%. Worried, I feel like this portends too much change, 5%. Several of the people are talking about, okay, how many teams is right? 4 teams, 17%, the fans said. 6 teams, 10.4%. 8 teams, 40.5% said 8 was the right number. 16 said 29.1. More than 16 said 3%. Why didn't they put 12 in there? That makes no sense. How do you have a poll where the number that ends up being the actual number and has been discussed as the number isn't a part of the poll? That makes no sense. Okay. All right. But that's the way it is. So we'll see. But the Athletic wanted to get what people thought about it, and that happens to be, and it's mixed on the regular season. I think it makes the regular season more relevant for this reason. Too often we hit that turn at Halloween, which is after the Yankees are usually eliminated. No, you didn't like that?
No, senor! No, senor! No,
You've been in the World Series how many times since 2009? I'm just asking. For a friend.
That would be 2.
In the World Series? You haven't been in the World Series since 2009. How about 0?
Oh, right. Yes. I got my
like goose egg. What?
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's goose egg. Yeah.
I mean, it's been lean, very lean. It's like how many Sixers titles? Oh yeah, that's another lean one too. All right. Okay. Stanley Cups? No.
You're not helping my situation over here with the bags.
Oh no, you don't seem to understand. I made a major investment in paper bags. I'm helping myself out nicely. But I think making the turn into November, by getting 12 teams into the playoff, you're now going to have more meaningful games as the battle for spots 7 to 12 take place. And I think, and you're going to have as many as 20 schools battling for spots 7 through 12 over the final 4 weeks of the season. That's going to bring more interest and more meaning to the regular season, because what has happened in my opinion, in the current college football playoff era is that the number of teams considered to be in the hunt usually shrinks to about 6 or 7 in November, and ESPN, which, let's face it, they're carrying the playoff. So, of course, they're going to concentrate on who might make it. That's natural. But it also is really limiting other games. Hey, the Apple Cup's coming up. Washington say, yeah, it's a great game, rivalry, blah, 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 blah. But it has no impact on the college football playoffs, so it gets to the rivalry part, but no impact. Now, Washington State could have interest because maybe Washington is 18th in the country. They might have a shot. So it changes the dynamics of a game like that. And that's where the playoff does come into play, where I think it actually increases the interest in November to a wider range of teams, and it also increases the interest in a wider range of the country. Because too often in recent years, since 2016, we've had no team west of Norman, Oklahoma in the playoff. And what makes the NCAA basketball tournament so intriguing, the entire country is represented, all regions, and upsets do happen. When the greatest upset in the college football playoff era is considered to be a number 4 seed Ohio State beating a number 1 seed Alabama, that's not my idea of an upset. And that's really considered to be the greatest upset in the college football playoff era. Now, you might get, who knows, but you might get, I know Central Florida is going to the Big 12, for example, but say they weren't. You might get Central Florida in a matchup against somebody, and suddenly they got a shot and pull off the upset. Now you've got the college basketball model. Now everything ratchets up like, ooh, hey, they did it. They knocked them off, which college basketball has. That opening weekend of the NCAA tournament is wild and interesting because people are filling out brackets and people are looking, where can I find the upsets? Okay? Nobody's filling out brackets for the college football playoff, even though there are more people watching it. But now you might be filling out a bracket. Now you might be rooting for an upset or two to see if they can pull it off. Right? It's got to happen first, but you have to have the opportunity, and the opportunity has not been there. Hey, good news. Judge isn't due up this inning. You can rest. I'm a little worried about you.
Be a good break.
Aaron Hicks is up. to be followed by Peraza and your guy IKF, who's also hit more home runs in the last 2 weeks than.
Oh, my almighty!
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, that's the sad part.
Yeah, it's very sad. Mike Gesicki next half hour, Bob Pompiani next half hour, and also Glenn McDowell on the Eagles, who play at Arizona this week. To be honest with you, if you were to ask me 2 years ago, the matchup of Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, boom, big check mark, Kyler Murray. Now, it's the other way around. Big check mark, Jalen Hurts. He is a much better quarterback at this stage than Kyler Murray.
100%.
Just the way it is. And give Hurts credit. He's made himself into that. Now, if they can just avoid trying to go for it on fourth down instead of kicking a field goal to give them a 2-score lead, what the heck's the thought process there? You can get away with it when you win the game. So nobody, you know what I mean? You can get away with it because they won.
Yeah, but you don't want to do that again.
No. I mean, you got to be smarter about it. You have to use time, score, number of possessions remaining. You've got to think that way, right? I mean, I actually had somebody, well, no, I'm really, John Harbaugh went for it. I think it was a good idea. I go, good idea to do what? Take the lead? Jeez. All right. Guess we're not into points. All right. We'll take a break. Come back. More in a moment. The Aaron Judge watch continues as we continue to wait for white smoke in Arlington. I'd bench him. No? You want to do that?
No, senor! No, senor!
On News Radio 1070 WKOK.
Albert hits it down the left field line. Number 703. 703. It's history. RBIs, number 2,215 and 16. He's passed Babe Ruth, second all-time in history in runs batted in. A historic blast, number 703.
Well, I'm glad somebody's capable of passing out Babe Ruth. All right, 154 games, he didn't pass them. And number 60 was in 155. Or 61, I mean, was in 155, wasn't it? Didn't pass him. Done. Gone. Now he can't even pass Maris. And Texas is challenging a play at first base right now. It's like, it's one of the easiest calls going. It's like, this should take seconds. It should be done. I mean,
No, God! No, God! No, God!
But it's an easy call. There are no other games being played right now. It's like, this replay should be over. They take too long on this stuff. Now Gonzalez is up. We can get a hit. Judge will come to the plate. What do you think?
Texas shouldn't even be challenging anything. Their season's been over for months. Like, enough. Let's just get the game over with. Get the Judge and get the game over with.
But that's not his job, Matt. Come on. His job's to manage the team and the game. They shouldn't have challenged it because it's pretty obvious he's safe. But you cannot tell a professional to not do his job. You don't have to watch. The only reason you're watching is because of one guy.
Exactly.
I mean, it's, again, individuals win awards, teams win championships.
Yeah, Martin will probably get out. This happened last night. He grounded into a double play, and then Judge had to wait for the next inning.
Well, the inning's over. He's out. Judge will have to lead off the next inning. I mean,
he's done it again.
Watching the game? I mean, come on. I'm over here. I can tell you what's going on.